Scene Mom says, welcome to the new podcast from former Phoenix radio host Danny Cutler. Each week bringing you independent music, industry news, the occasional interview, and other fun segments. Let's get to it. Scene Mom says hello and welcome to episode number 58. I'm Danny Cutler, aka Scene Mom, and I'm grateful to have you tune in. I hope everybody had a fantastic week. How am I on episode 58 already? This is insane, but it's awesome insane. Yeah. So this week has been pretty busy here, but full of really fun things. I had one super cool experience that I want to share. Last week, I had the honor of being asked to be on a jury panel for a high school senior exhibition rubric. Now, if you've been a listener for a while, you might remember the name Keaton Ald. He is a musician, and his exhibition was about marketing his album as an independent artist. So he used the release of his own music in order to study marketing as an indie musician. So earlier in the school year, I mentored him a bit, and I was planning on attending anyway because I wanted to see the results of this entire project. But being on the jury was even better because I could give official feedback on the project and ask questions, and it was just great to interact in that way. I have to say, I want him to start giving this talk to indie musicians all over the place because I not only took notes for his feedback, but I also took notes for myself as well. It was just full of information, amazing information. The research and care he put into the subject, I wish every musician did this. Seriously. From putting his website together and which distribution company to use, how to submit to playlists, just super informative. His results were really impressive, and he was very open and honest about burnout as well, and also on what he would tweak and do differently in the future with other releases, and also how he can continue to promote his current one. So I will link to his site in the show notes, and you can find out more about his music and perhaps give it a listen too. I have also been working on some cultural council things. We had our annual Taste of Winchendon this past weekend, which is tons of fun and one of the few things that my husband will also attend. So I really enjoy spending the time with him to go. But I think that because there's free food involved is why he goes. I am also starting the early stages of possibly putting a porch fest together in my town. There was just one in Somerville. I know they have them in all over the state in different towns because it's smaller towns. It's just a really good community connector. We'll see. I don't think one person can take that on alone, even in a small town where I live. So yeah, we'll see. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get back to the show. Includes your music news, history, your marketing tip of the week, and of course, a few amazing indie tracks, which we're going to get back to right now. This one is from Phoenix darkwave synth band March. I'm so happy they're still releasing music. I just love them, and they're great people too. This is their latest single, Elixir, and you're listening to what Scene Mom says.
Tonight, too quick, too soon. Hi, this is James from Chrome Rhino in Phoenix, Arizona. You are listening to Scene Mom Says with Danny Cutler.
Thank you, James from Chrome Rhino. Scene Mom says it's now time for some music news. In a significant policy stance, House Republicans have declared their opposition to new federal regulations on artificial intelligence, or AI, emphasizing a preference for innovation over government intervention. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise articulated this position, stating that Congress should avoid heavy-handed regulations that could impede technological progress. This perspective contrasts with the bipartisan efforts in both chambers of Congress to address the challenges posed by AI. For instance, the proposed No AI Fraud Act aims to establish a federal right of publicity protecting individuals from unauthorized use of their likeness and voice by AI technologies. The music industry, including entities like the RIAA and Universal Music Group, have expressed strong support for such measures, citing concerns over deepfakes and unauthorized AI-generated content. Despite the concerns, House Republicans remain cautious about introducing new regulations. They do fear that actions might stifle innovation and economic growth. This divergence in approaches highlights the ongoing debate in Congress about the best path forward for AI governance. Now, as AI continues to evolve and integrate into various sectors, the balance between fostering innovation and ensuring ethical use is a central issue for policymakers. I am not buying Congress excuse. House Republicans saying that they're emphasizing a preference for innovation over government intervention. No. I mean, honestly, everyone saw the May the 4th post by the White House and all of the deep fakes and AI generated graphics that they're doing. That's why they don't want any government involvement in it. They just want to be able to do whatever they want. And that's going to hurt everyone else, musicians and just regular people, right? What about all the laws that are out there that are trying to protect us from deep fakes and just average people, not musicians, not anybody else. But anyway, I could go on for hours about that. So not good. All right. In other news, the Red Hot Chili Peppers frontman Anthony Kiedis just launched his own coffee brand called Jolene. He started it with his buddy Shane Powers. Its name is a fun nod to the classic Dolly Parton song Jolene, and of course the idea of a cup of joe. It's not your typical coffee shop thing though. Jolene is all about ready to drink cold brew, which is perfect for music lovers who are always on the go. Kiedis wants it to be the kind of thing you grab before heading into a concert or festival. So speaking of that, they have teamed up with Live Nation, so you'll start seeing Jolene pop up at live music venues and events across the country. Plus, you can order online and find it in some stores in LA and NYC. Now, for Kiedis, he says it's not just about coffee, it's about blending music, community, and lifestyle in a fun way. Well, that's interesting. I'm not sure how I feel about him teaming up with Live Nation. I mean, Green Day at least teamed up with 7-Eleven. All right. And finally, the iconic CBGB is sort of making a comeback. In September, Brooklyn's Under the K Bridge Park will host the CBGB Festival, a one-day event celebrating the spirit of the legendary New York club. Iggy Pop is headlining, marking his first New York City show in over a decade. Joining him are Jack White and the Sex Pistols featuring Frank Carter. The lineup also includes Johnny Marr, Marky Ramone, The Damned, Gorilla Biscuits, The Melvins, Lambrini Girls, The Linda Lindas, and Lip Critic. Now, the festival isn't just a nostalgic trip. It is a bridge between punk's pioneers and today's rising stars, which echoes CBGB's original ethos of showcasing raw, rebellious talent. Very cool. Tickets or pre-sale has already happened by the time you're listening to this. And Friday, May 16th is when tickets go on sale. I might have to look into that. I'm only like 5 or 6 hours away. Yeah. All right. That's your new music news this week. And if you have any other news you want to share or feedback or any thoughts, you can email me, scenemomsays@gmail.com.
Take you around to people who are on the go. Well, pictures of me and my face say, I'm not an effigy. I'm not an effigy. No, no. Well, I moved back from this faraway land, walked right into a room with me mom and me dad. Well, I saw my picture hanging on the wall, tried to rip it and burn it, but it just withstood it all. And I said, hey, I'm not an effigy. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. I'm not an effigy. Walking around this stinking town, I look up at the buildings and they get me down. Well, I look to my left and then I look to my right, and then I realize they've been striking at me since the middle of last night. Hey, I'm not an effigy. 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 I'm not an effigy.
That was the latest from Glass Apple Bonsai, who are based on the Canadian side of Niagara Falls. Really dig their sound. C-Mom says it's time for some music history. On May 12th in 1953, the Symphony of Southeast Texas, which was originally known as the Beaumont Symphony Orchestra, held its inaugural performance under conductor Jay Deitzer. Over the decades, the symphony evolved through leadership with notable conductors such as Edvard Fendler, Joseph B. Carlucci, Diane Witry, Christopher Zimmerman, and the current director, Chelsea Tipton II. Carlucci expanded the musical repertoire and forged ties with Lamar University. Witry, one of the few female conductors in the 1990s, significantly enhanced educational outreach programs and led the renaming of the orchestra to better reflect its regional audience. Under Tipton's direction, since 2009, the symphony has experienced further growth, including collaborations with popular artists like Sting. On May 12th in 2006, Guns N' Roses played the first of 4 warm-up shows at Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City, preceding a European tour and shows across the U.S. These performances marked the band's return to live shows after a significant hiatus, which reignited interest among fans and setting the stage for their subsequent tours. On May 13th in 1995, the 40th Eurovision Song Contest was held at Point Theatre in Dublin, Ireland. The competition was won by Irish-Norwegian band Secret Garden, representing Norway with the song Nocturne. This piece stood out for its minimal lyrics and instrumental focus, which marked a unique entry in Eurovision's history. On May 16th in 1966, the Beach Boys released their 11th studio album, Pet Sounds, in the United States. The album, produced by Brian Wilson, is renowned for its innovative production techniques and complex harmonies. Though not an immediate commercial success, Pet Sounds has since been acclaimed as one of the greatest albums in music history, influencing countless artists and shaping the future of pop and rock music. And on May 18th in 1912, American singer Perry Como was born. Known for his smooth baritone voice and relaxed style, Como became one of the most popular vocalists of the 20th century. His career spanned more than half a century, during which he sold millions of records and hosted a long-running television show, leaving a lasting impact on American popular music. And that is some music history for you this week.
Now I'm gently freaking out inside, forced to compartmentalize. Can you be at peace with sitting tight till the moment feels just right?
was the latest single from Tucson duo Birds and Arrows that was called The Kite Right Back to Me. They actually released it a month ago, and I feel kind of terrible not playing it sooner. However, I have reduced my songs from 10 an episode down to 4, so naturally that means I don't get to everything quite as quickly. I have a mile-long list of music. It grows every day, too. Artists, if there is ever something you want to push faster than my normal queue, such as a show or a merch sale or something significant and time matters, make sure you let me know when you send music so that I bump it up in the line a little bit more. And as always, I will have links to all of the artists in the show notes. C-Mom says it's time for your marketing tip of the week. This is part 3 of my series on announcing an event. I've been putting shows together and promoting them for clients for well over a decade now, and I still see basic mistakes when preparing that are very simple fixes. I'm covering the things that you need to have set up before you announce an event. It'll make all the promotion after announcing and your event go much more smoothly. Last week, I went over getting all of your marketing and promo materials prepped. This week is about making sure that your online presence is ready to go. So this includes having your event pages created, Facebook event, Eventbrite, anywhere else. Your venue website should be updated with the show and ticket info. A lot of venues, you would be surprised, either forget or don't think about putting it in their own calendar, and that's very important to check on the venue. And artists and anyone involved with the website and scheduling on social media posts should be ready to roll. Any other relevant sites where you want to promote the event as well, like local media, listings in local media, bands in town, those sort of sites. So make a list of all the places that you would want to know about the event. I stressed this last week, but it's just as important this week. Make sure everyone has all the correct social media links for artists and the venue. And as always, if you want to chat more about marketing and promoting your music or your brand, you can schedule a consultation with me at dannycutler.com. And you can also subscribe to the newsletter for more information. And there's also the private Facebook group as well. And yes, I will have links to everything in the show notes. The show notes are your lifeline.
Can never be true. 'Cause I see so much of me when I look at you. And I wish I could get closer to you now. But this is all your heart will allow. It's just the way it's gotta be. Just the way it's gotta be. Just the way it's gotta be.
was another new, but not quite new single from a new band, Hotel Saturn, called Just the Way. They just joined the Rock Garden Records family. C-Mom says now it's time for some good and nerdy news. This is good news for the planet and clean energy fans. Scientists at the University of Leicester have figured out a super clever way to recycle fuel cells using sound waves. Fuel cells, which are used in things like hydrogen-powered cars, contain valuable metals like platinum and also some chemicals called PFAS, forever chemicals, because they stick around in the environment forever. Up until now, recycling these cells was pretty messy, expensive, and not eco-friendly. But now, with this new method, they basically soak the old fuel cells in a solvent and then blast them with ultrasonic waves. Creates tiny bubbles that collapse and gently break the materials apart. And the best part is it's done at room temperature. It takes just seconds and it skips all the harsh chemicals. So not only does this stop PFAS from leaching into the environment, it also helps recover expensive materials in a cheaper and cleaner way. Experts say this could cut fuel cell production costs by up to 18%, making hydrogen energy way more accessible. This breakthrough could be a big win for both recycling tech and clean energy. They're even working with a company called Johnson Matthey to bring it into the real world. Very cool idea. Love that. And on that note, it's it for episode 58. Links to all the music and news that you heard this week will, be in the show notes. If you have any feedback, you can always get in touch on social media. I am scenemomsays on Facebook and dcutleraz everywhere else. And you can email cmomsays@gmail.com. If you like what you hear, I would love it if you would share, as I am also an independent artist. Thank you, as always, for listening. Appreciate it so much, and you'll hear me again soon. You've been listening to the Scene Mom Says podcast. Intro-outro music is Look Good for the Radio by Fairy Bones. Learn more about Danny and the show at dannycutler.com.